Boxing history is on the verge of being written. Undisputed super middleweight king Canelo Alvarez will confront pound-for-pound icon Terence Crawford in September 2025, with Crawford leaping 2 weight classes for the ultimate test. To adapt to the demands of the super middleweight division, Crawford has been training with undefeated super middleweight Lester Martinez, who is renowned for his knockout strength. This strategic approach is crafted to prepare Crawford for the physicality and power of Alvarez, even while moving up in weight. Crawford maintains his assurance, stating, "He's not a machine. He bleeds like I do," emphasizing his belief that he can compete effectively in this higher weight class. While many experts in the boxing community have doubted Crawford's ability to make such a substantial jump in weight, Bud has been resolute in his stance, declaring, "I've been doubted my whole career. With all of the negative things that have been said about Terence Crawford along the way, they never thought that I would be in this place that I am now." Furthermore, Crawford has made it clear that he's accustomed to being the underdog and is ready to prove his skeptics wrong yet again. "But I did. It's funny to say, but I have been hearing this my whole career. I'm too small for this guy. This guy is too strong. This guy punches too hard. I don't have a chin, or I am this, or I am that," he added. "I just take it all in and laugh. People who have negative thoughts of me have never been in the ring before. It doesn't even bother me. Haters are undercover fans. Once I did get my hands on Spence, Sean Porter, and Kell Brook, they said I got them late and bruised up. There was always an excuse. Certain groups in boxing thought these guys were going to beat me." In an interview with Manuka Kopian, the former undisputed welterweight champion and current World Boxing Organization WBO super welterweight champion, analyzed the fight with Canelo. "I don't have to knock him out, I just have to defeat him. I'm not going in there aiming to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. When I evaluate it, he's a slightly larger fighter coming up through the weight classes. These bigger, slower opponents might strike him, but he views it as an afterthought," Crawford explained. Crawford, who comes from 2 lower weight classes, assures that his agility and speed will work in his favor in the bout, explaining his approach. Bud said, "I come from a lower weight class that is quicker and more precise. If he gets struck with a direct hit that he doesn't anticipate, he can get hurt. He's not a machine. He's human like me. He bleeds like me." Terence, while not ruling out a knockout, won't enter with that in mind. His tactic will be to exhaust him, something that can be far more effective coming from a lower weight class. "I won't go in thinking I can't hurt him, but I also won't go in thinking I'll try to knock him out. I'm going to fight my fight, and if a knockout comes, then of course I'll seize it," the American concluded. The Kazakh's former trainer, Abel Sanchez, has been highly critical of this fight due to the weight disparity between the 2 boxers. "The fight, to me, seems absurd. They're 2 completely different fighters. Canelo has taken punches from big guys, and no one has hurt him. So I don't think this fight should occur," Sanchez told Boxing News. "I've said it from the beginning, but the money is there for both of us, so it's going to happen. Even though it's not a fight I'd pay to see." Abel opined. He also foresees a clear victory for the Mexican and doesn't think it will be competitive, as his advantage is so significant. "I think Canelo is going to stop him, and it's not because Terence doesn't have talent. Terence is a skilled fighter, but we're talking about a big man used to fighting other greats. Eventually, he'll catch Crawford, punish him, and hurt him," he concluded. The journey to finalizing this bout faced numerous obstacles. Initial reports in February 2025 indicated that negotiations had faltered, with Alvarez considering other opponents, including Jake Paul. However, by late March, Alvarez secured a 4-fight deal with Saudi Arabia's Turki, reviving the Crawford fight for September. The bout's scheduling aligns with UFC 320, announced by Dana White, to take place on September 13th at Arena Guadalajara in Mexico. This scheduling creates direct competition between 2 major combat sports events, potentially affecting viewership and pay-per-view revenue. Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya has commented on the matchup, suggesting that one fighter stands on the cusp of greatness, though opinions differ on who holds the edge. Analysts are split, with some citing Alvarez's experience at higher weight classes as a key factor, while others highlight Crawford's technical skill and adaptability. In an interview with Brian Make, De La Hoya acknowledged the significance of what Crawford could achieve. "If Crawford can do it, Jesus Lord. I mean, give this man the title of being the greatest ever. But I just don't see it. Canelo is a big puncher. Yeah, he walks on quicksand, and that's one thing Crawford can exploit against him. But the pressure of the heavier guy, Canelo will be 200 pounds in that ring. It's a tough fight, but look, I give all the credit to Crawford. If he pulls it off, he'll be the messiah of fighters." De La Hoya's statement about Crawford becoming the messiah of fighters if he succeeds underscores the enormity of this challenge. A significant concern for Crawford, however, is that he is stepping up to face a naturally larger and more powerful opponent in Canelo. Many believe that if Canelo fights the wrong strategy, meaning if he underestimates Crawford's agility and technical prowess, he could end up defeated. However, if Canelo fights intelligently and leverages his strength, the bout could be highly challenging for Crawford. Roy Jones Jr., in a recent interview, advised Terence on how to defeat Canelo.
Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it can go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You're gonna got a weight class. How do you think Terence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. You get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
One of the primary concerns experts have about Crawford's upcoming fight is his tendency to engage in avoidable exchanges. In a recent interview, Tim Bradley recalled a moment when Crawford admitted that he sometimes fights for the audience rather than adhering to a disciplined strategy. This was evident in his fight against Egidijus Mean Machine Kavaliauskas, where Crawford took more risks than needed, even getting knocked down, something that had never occurred before in his career.
I talked to Terence about this a few months back, and I asked him, I said, have you ever found yourself in a fight where you got caught up in fighting for the crowd and what they were talking about? He said it happens to all of us, and I believe he said it happened to him when he fought Green Machine.
Yeah.
And I swear it was so crazy when I heard him say that, because I'm watching that fight and I'm like, Terence is trading with this dude way more than he has to.
Analysts believe that if he falls into the
Analysts believe that if he repeats the same pattern against Canelo, it could be catastrophic. Canelo is naturally larger, stronger, and highly experienced in managing fighters moving up in weight. If Crawford gets drawn into trading blows instead of utilizing his mobility and counterpunching abilities, he could find himself in grave danger. Canelo has been competing at super middleweight and light heavyweight for years, making him fully accustomed to the power and stamina required in these divisions. Crawford, on the other hand, has spent most of his career in much lighter weight classes. While his skills are undeniable, he will need to fight with utmost discipline to avoid being pulled into a physical battle with Canelo. Crawford's mentality of proving his resilience could be his greatest downfall in this fight. He has the tools to win, but only if he fights wisely and avoids unnecessary risks.
Terence he never touched the canvas. That was his first time. And it also comes with the fact that Terence is that's his mentality. It's tough. A little bit of me moving forward, that's what scares me about the Canelo fight, to be honest with you.
Crawford's decision to advance to weight classes to challenge Canelo at 168 pounds is one of the most audacious moves in boxing. Shocker, Stevenson, speaking on the Ring Magazine podcast, isn't surprised. He predicted years ago that Crawford possessed the skills to defeat Canelo. Stevenson emphasizes Crawford's versatility, particularly his ability to switch stances, as a major advantage. He notes that Canelo has struggled with southpaws in the past, including John Ryder, and believes Crawford's sharp boxing IQ could exploit weaknesses in the Mexican champion's style. Canelo, known for his granite chin and devastating counterpunching, has absorbed shots from much larger fighters. Stevenson acknowledges this, but argues that Crawford has the ability to hurt even heavyweights in sparring. If Crawford lets his hands go and utilizes his speed and footwork, Stevenson believes he has a genuine chance at victory.
Why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. Mm-hmm. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style. Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the outcome, Stevenson respects Crawford's willingness to take such a high-stakes fight. Many fighters would have remained in their comfort zone, but Crawford's move demonstrates his hunger for greatness. If he can overcome Canelo's power and experience, it would cement his legacy as one of the all-time greats.
If he throws the right, that's what I'm saying. Like if Bud lets his hands go, then
it ain't just the right.
Well, Canelo's also got a great chin too. Like that's, I mean, we've seen him hit by a lot of big guys.
I get you. I'm just saying, when Bud hit him, is he just gonna walk forward and take the punches? Like, I just don't know.
Terence Crawford says he feels the media is underestimating his chance of defeating Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight, just as they did when he fought Errol Spence. Crawford claims that it's never been done before where a great fighter moved up to divisions to conquer a great world champion. If successful, Crawford would achieve what even Mayweather avoided, dethroning a prime Canelo in his division. But one punch from Alvarez could turn this dream into a cautionary tale about ambition outweighing reality. Promoter Bob Arum says Terence Crawford's ability to switch hit will confuse Canelo Alvarez in September, and he predicts that his former fighter will triumph over the Mexican superstar. I like Crawford in that fight. I think he's a superior talent, better athlete, better boxer, and I just think he's going to win that fight, said promoter Bob Arum to Sean Seidel, predicting Terence Crawford will defeat WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez if they fight on September 13th. Also, Crawford has a rare ability of being ambidextrous and switching from southpaw to orthodox as the fight progresses. That's going to befuddle Canelo. Like most fighters, he's not dealt with that kind of opponent. I think that's what made it such an easy fight with Spence. He was totally befuddled, said Bob Arum.